Welcome to the Great American Collectibles Show. Heard Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern on PSAcard.com and the PSA Facebook page. The Great American Collectibles Show is brought to you by PSA and the National Sports Collectors Convention. Tonight's headlines are brought to you by Sports Collectors Daily. For all of your hobby news, features, and more, visit sportscollectorsdaily.com. And now, your hosts, Tom Zappola and Rico Petroselli.
All right, we're going to get right into our headline because we got Derek on the phone.
Hello, everyone.
We got some stuff to talk about.
Join us today, and go ahead.
What?
Oh, excuse me. That's it.
All right, today's headlines. The NSCC schedule is set through 2023. The National Sports Collectors Convention will return to Cleveland in 2022. That's the word from show promoters after finalizing the results of a vote by dealers this week. The other option on the ballot was to eliminate Cleveland from the rotation through at least 2023. However, as it stands,
always a good idea.
Chicago is hardly being left out. The show will take up residence at the Stevens Convention Center in suburban Rosemont in 2019, 21, and 23. It's going to be held in Atlantic City in 2020. All great locations.
When's it coming to Wilmington?
It's not.
Okay.
And that is pretty much the schedule. So congratulations. All good venues. For hobby news, features, and much more, visit sportscollectorsdaily.com. Our good friend Rich Miller and the great gang there. All right, listen. Before we have Derek Grady from Heritage. We're going to be talking to Todd Tobias, who runs the CardFacts portion of PSA. And then in the second half hour, we're going to talk to our friend from Classic Auctions for a few minutes, Marc Juteau.
Yes.
But let's bring in Derek real quick. Hey, Derek, how you doing, buddy?
Hello, Derek.
Good. How are you guys?
Now, Derek, you're in Vegas. You're at the PSA Invitational. And
yes.
I just want to ask you one question. You don't have to answer this. How many cocktails have you had since you got there?
Not zero.
Going for a record.
Not zero, but not the most I've ever had. But it's Vegas.
Yeah.
Little craps.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
A lot of food.
Say hi to all the gang.
Cocktails.
On there.
I would pay anything to watch Tom at a craps table.
Me?
Trying to figure out craps.
Yeah, I'm not a gambler, man.
No,
me either.
your head would explode.
Yeah, I'm not a gambler.
Yeah.
No, me either.
Oh yeah, my head explodes playing it too. So I do about the same thing every time.
Yeah, I just
and watch everybody and just watch the other people.
Yeah.
Rico and I, we've talked about that in the past. Sometimes when you have a pedigree, a father or a grandfather.
No, it's not that. It's just you trying to figure out craps would be amusing as hell.
That particular game. I know you. That's a dice game, right?
That's right. Yeah.
All right, listen. Before we start, before we talk to Derek, Lou and I have been having a little discussion. It's World Series time. Rico's got his hat on. We had the opportunity to go to the game, but because of our viewers and listeners, we're here, right?
That's true, yes.
Plus, I'd rather watch the game from my couch.
What, were you selling hot dogs?
Nah, it's too cold to go to the game tonight. 30 degrees. It's going to be 35 degrees.
I'd rather watch it on TV.
So Rico came in like there was a foot of snow outside.
I know that.
I'm freezing. You kidding? It goes right through you.
You have no blood circulation or something.
Yeah, I got
you get
no
you some
arteries.
iron or
no
something.
open arteries left. Maybe half an artery.
All right. So first of all, is our trivia question. Congratulations, Rick Gonzalez won the plate last week. Rick, it's in the mail. You'll be getting if the plate is broken. Tough crap. No, we'll replace it. This week, this is a neat gift.
It's like Howie Carr. You can blame it on the postmaster.
That's right. This is an official PSA hat that's going to go to a lucky winner.
Should have been a Red Sox pink hat. That's what you should give away.
This is a PSA hat. Rico has one. I have one. PSA sent some of these. We're going to give this away. Here is the trivia question. It's very easy. All you have to do is hit it right on the head. What will David Price's pitch count be tonight? What's his pitch count going to be? You have to hit it exact. Now,
what are the two numbers in Jackie Bradley's batting average for the postseason?
God, I hate him. Now, listen. If David Price gets hit by a truck before the game, whoever the starting pitcher is tonight, what's his pitch count? David Price is the starter.
If he runs into a cat, they mow the lawn.
He gets a hangnail. So
he thinks the Yankees are on the other side.
All you have to do is comment what's his pitch count going to be. Whoever hits it wins the PSA hat next week. How's that?
That's very.
You know
nice.
I hate David Price. You know I hate him.
I do.
As much as I hate him,
A lot of people.
he
hate
pitched
it.
well last time out. You got to give him credit.
Give him credit.
You didn't see any odds there. Did you see any odds in the World Series?
Derek?
I don't know how long you've been there.
You know what? I'm not a gambler. I with
like us.
sports
You're a
generally.
smart man.
So I didn't. Obviously, the Red Sox are favored,
Yeah, well, for sure.
but I didn't get and I think the Red Sox will win. But I didn't go to Sportsbook and throw down money.
Yeah.
You're a smart man.
Larry thinks he's going 98 pitches. That would be the
98.
upside.
I saw that. Yeah, Larry. That's
If he's on early, he'll go.
He may need
5.
98 to get out of the third inning.
Price hasn't thrown 98 pitches in 2 years.
What did he do last game?
I think it was through about 84.
I don't know, but
All right, listen, we're comparing. Lou and I have had a little discussion. He thinks I'm a pink hat. Now, we're
You are
not.
a
This
pink
is
hat.
not the great. I'm not saying this.
There's no debate about that.
I'm not saying this is the greatest Red Sox team of all time. All I'm trying to do is compare. You think the '75 team was better. I think the '75 team was real good, but
I think
it's
the
real close.
2017 might be better, too.
All right, first base, Lewis. You had Yaz in '75. You got Moreland and Pierce here. Who do you go with?
Yes.
Right, I agree. Second base in '75, you got Denny Doyle. 2018, you got Holt and Kinsler. Who do you go with?
Oh, I don't know.
I say it's a wash,
Okay, fair enough.
right? Wash.
I'll give you a wash.
but you're Pedroia would be.
He's not. He's out.
All right.
Third base, you got Mr.
Come on, Bill. You watch the Patriots.
Yeah,
Rico?
I do.
If he's dead, he's dead to us. If he's
Yeah,
not playing, he's dead.
that's-
To us.
Okay.
Third base,
I
you got
just
Rico
tried to sneak him
Petrocelli
in
at
there.
third versus Rafael Devers. I
Rico.
think I agree. I think.
I don't.
How can you say
No, today.
that? I'm saying right now.
We don't know what Raphael's going to
5
be.
years from now, he could be a
All right,
superstar.
yeah.
But right now, Rico, you're a better third
yeah,
baseman than he
Oh,
was.
different.
And I'd
That's
say
it.
that even if I didn't love you so much.
All right. Left field, Jimmy Rice or Benintendi?
Rice.
Got to go Rice, right?
Rice by a long shot.
Center field, same thing. Freddie Lynn versus JBJ.
By a
No
long
comparison.
shot.
Here's one. Right field, you go with Evans
Mookie.
or Mookie. I go with Mookie.
Yeah, he
Rico.
could run better,
Mookie's a Hall of
but,
Famer.
I agree. As good as Dwight
But
Evans was, you got to
he
go with
was-
Betts.
he was
Catcher,
great.
no comparison.
Yeah,
Carlton
Fisk.
Fisk versus Sandy Leone. How about this one?
Yeah.
Here's one. This is a toss-up, in my opinion.
Yep.
Shortstop, Burleson versus Bogarts.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Who do you go with? You played with
Yeah,
Burleson.
I played with Burleson. I loved him.
Bogey hits some more power.
Bogey's had a great year. He's a good all-around
Bogey has
player.
hit
He
for
can
more
run.
power this year.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
who-
but
Remember, you were ready to draw him out of the league 2 years ago.
I was.
Yeah.
So who do you go with?
I would I'd give him a tie.
Okay. Now, here's where you and I part ways, Mr. Blassie.
I got to give Xander the edge.
I would too.
I think.
I would too.
Yeah, I have no problems with
Yeah.
that.
Louis, here's where
He's
you
a
and
good
I
player.
may part ways on the better team overall because their pitching staff then, their number one pitcher in '75 was Rick Wise.
Right.
Correct?
Yeah, 19 wins.
No comparison with him and Chris Sale. Agreed?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Their number two.
Here's where you get into trouble because baseball in '75 and baseball in
and I
2018 are two different things.
Their number two was Louis Tion versus David Price. I go with Tion.
Yep.
Agreed?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Their number three was Bill Lee versus Rick Porcello. I go with Porcello.
Why?
Because Bill Lee was a very lucky pitcher.
Gee,
He was a
he
very
had a
lucky
great sinker.
Lucky. You're
Pretty
gonna
good
chalk up his
fielder.
whole career to luck.
He was a,
Porcello's good,
He was
but
a
he's-
step above Pomegranate.
Okay, next.
Nah.
Number four, Reggie Cleveland.
Which Porcello are you putting up here? You're putting up the Cy Young Rick Porcello? What we've seen the last 2 seasons?
He won 17 this year, Lewis.
Wins aren't a.
All right.
Lee
I
won
understand.
17
He won
3 years in
17
a row.
games on a team that won
what do
108
you
in a
think Lee
division
did?
with a 100-game
Well,
loser.
Lee only
and-
had 2 17-win seasons himself. You know, he wasn't exactly Lefty Grove. Bill Lee.
3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but Bill Lee was playing at a time where
career.
Baltimore and Tampa Bay and half the American League had major league teams, not minor league teams.
All right, so you go with Bill Lee.
Yes.
All right. Reggie Cleveland, number four, versus Nathan Eovaldi. I don't think there's a comparison
Reggie
there.
Cleveland.
What?
You've got 2 starts out of Eovaldi. He was nowhere 2 months ago. He was nowhere.
Hold on. If you look at Evaldi's career up to this point versus Cleveland's career up to that point, right about the same.
You're
better
talking
pitcher.
who's better
At that time.
statistically, or
Yeah.
you're
For that
you're
year.
talking about who has got better stuff
For that year.
You want to talk about lucky and getting
this
the
year
best
and
out
that
of it.
year?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're rolling.
I love Reggie, but Evaldi right now is tough.
Right? And then closers, forget it. Closers, not even a comparison. Kimbrel versus
Dick Drago.
Dick Drago, the Dragon.
You know who was
no
who had a great
comparison.
year?
Did you watch Kimbrel the last 4 or 5 outings?
I did, but overall, he's had a very good season.
Roger Moret, 14-2.
Yeah, but he was, what was he, a spot starter?
Yeah.
Then he went off the deep end.
He was a rover.
Yeah.
He was. All right, let's
But
get to
yeah,
our
good stuff. Anyway.
our pal Derek. Again, for our viewers, if you can tell us what the pitch count is tonight for David Price, you're going to win this neat PSA hat. We'll get it in the mail to you. But let's talk to our good friend Derek Grady from Heritage Auction. Derek, first of all, how you doing?
In Derek's honor, Nathan Eovaldi has been rolling 7s for about 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
He's at the very top of his game. You may never see 3 starts out of him like you've seen.
All right, listen, Derek, we had some emails. We've had some questions on some of the grading stuff, but we also want to talk about Heritage. What determines if the price of a card is going to go up or down? I know. I'm talking about a graded card. So a graded T206 Nap Lajoie PSA 4. What determines in what direction that card is going to go?
Well, supply and demand. I mean, and you have new people coming in all the time that are starting T206 sets or want to do a Hall of Fame registry, or, you know, T206s have been the blue chip for the last 20 years. Had I been buying T206s in any grade, okay, across the board, just Ty Cobbs, any of the Hall of Famers, 1s, 2s, 3s, any grade up to 8, not, you know, everything is increased. Oh boy, you know, 1,000%, 500% over. They just keep going up. So that's a blue chip investment. You know, modern cards obviously go by how the player's playing, whether it's NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Can also get hurt when you're O.J. Simpson and your card, you know, you have a rookie card, you're Hall of Famer, and then you get accused of murder. That's going to hurt your value. So, you know, you're not immune even when you've retired.
All right, so but let me follow up on what you said at the very beginning, supply and demand. What triggers, though, the demand for a particular card? Let's use Larry. One of our viewers just gave a great example. The red Cobb T206. Now that card is going up, but what is triggering the demand for that card?
You know. Yeah, that's a tough question. I was shocked. We set a world record in our auction with that card, and it sold for twice, 3 times what they've been selling for. And sometimes it's just that auction, you have the right people bidding at the right time, and they all decided they had to have it, and the prices go crazy. But that's always been a popular card. It's a classic Ty Cobb card, you know. The red portrait is just classic. The green portrait's tougher. Okay, there's more 8s on the red portrait.
Right.
But it's collectors love, you know, the T206 portrait Hall of Famers, and Cobb is, you know, short of Wagner. You know, Cobb's the best one.
That was the first card I bought. That was the first T206 card I bought back in 1992.
There you go.
I bought a T206 Cobb. This is the God's honest truth. I paid $150, $175. It was a Ty Cobb red background, polar bear back, and it's a PSA 4. I paid like $150 for it at the time.
Oh wow! Yeah, see,
$60.
What's it worth now?
I don't even know. What's that worth now? That's probably worth PSA 4. Probably worth about $3,000, maybe $2,500.
Yeah, probably, you know, in the 2000. Again, and that's where we talked about before. Is it well centered? Is there a crease on it? Is it a 4 because of corner wear? Is it a 4 because of stain on the back? Not all 4s are created equal, but it's a couple $1,000.
You ever wonder if Mrs. Cobb, which one she liked best? The black, not the black, but the.
She was in jail. She was in jail for shooting her husband.
She shot her husband.
That's right. She was in prison.
Yeah.
So now, what about the half grades, Derek? I mean. I thought it was genius at the time that PSA came up with half grades. What are your thoughts on the half grade?
Agreed. Love it. I mean, you couldn't, you know, early on when PSA didn't do the half grade, so what you had was if a card is an 8.8, you know, they may have thrown it in a 9. okay? And if a card, and so you have, you need that half grade. A nice 8 should be in an 8.5. A slider, a lower end 8 should be an 8. Then you've got the 8.5, and then you got a 9. So I think it was overdue, when they did it. They, and they wrestled with it for a while, but then they pulled the trigger and did it, and it grades cards more accurately.
So that really
I love it.
That really has taken away a lot of the argument about I have a 5. How can this be a 5? This should be a 6. So now it's a 5.5. That makes sense.
Well,
yes.
that's
and back then, if somebody had a nice 5, they would be pushing for a 6. And if they got a 6, now you've got a slider 6.
Right.
The right grade's a 5.5. And there are people that think, oh, you should go 8.25, 8.5, 8.7. No. This is enough with the 8, 8, 5, 9. That's enough. But there are people that even say you should be more accurate than that. I don't think so. I think we're good where we're at.
If they were going to do that, that was going to be one of my questions. But I do have a question regarding, does team association have much to do with the value of a card? For instance, PSA 4, a particular Yankee player, worth more than, no, of course we got to put that in, worth more than the same grade for, say, an Oriole player, for instance?
Yes. I mean, again, you talk to Brooks Robinson and he'll tell you, what would his cards be worth if he played for the Yankees?
Right.
Okay, and this is a Hall of Famer, arguably the one of the greatest defensive players ever. Had he played for the Yankees, he would have made more money. His cards would be worth more. His autograph would sell for more. I mean, it's just yes, the Yankees are worth more.
Now,
look at Mantle. Mantle wasn't better than Mays.
Right.
Look at the rookie card values.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds like something I'd say.
A 52 Mantle and an 8 is $400,000. A 52 Mays and an 8 is $25,000.
Incredible.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I mean, let's take the Yankees and put the Yankees aside because we all know that that's a more valuable card. Are there any other clubs, like who are the next 2 or 3 that fall in line with that theory?
I kind of look to memorabilia as well, and the Cardinals have a really big following. Okay, and in cards, you're talking Musial. Some of the teams, just the Dodgers, CardFacts, the Brooklyn Dodgers especially, with Jackie and Roy Campanella and CardFacts. So, yeah, I mean, there's some legendary teams. So I would say the Brooklyn Dodgers would be up there as well.
I like, I mean, something, you were a Giant fan, right? Or were you Brooklyn Dodgers, right?
Yeah,
Dodger fan.
Giant. Where'd you come up with
New
that?
York Giants.
Yeah, they were good, but Dodgers, Yankees.
We are chatting with Derek Grady from Heritage Auctions, and Derek is also literally a grading expert. You've had a lot of experience in the grading world. All right, let's talk about the 52 top set, Derek. 52 top set really intrigues me, and we're going to talk about that at length over the coming months, and I'll tell you why later on. But that set really intrigues me because it seems as though that set is kind of like become the modern version of the T206 set. In other words, it's the go-to set for the next generation. Is that pretty much on spot?
That's accurate. I think it's been that way for 20 years. I mean, the 52 set it's tops. It's even though 51 Bowman is Mantle and Mays is rookie, a lot of people consider 52 tops because tops is the big, the 800-pound gorilla in baseball cards. Right. So and Bowman went out of business, and so tops is. That's what people want to put together. It's got the famous high number series. You had the Rosen 52 find. We have a freshly graded 52 Mantle 8 in our upcoming November 15th and 16th auction. Yep. That just went live online. We have a 52 Mays and 8.5. 52s have always been popular. They just
I don't understand why the more modern or not so much the present day players. You could pick any year,
about from the
2000 to the it could be 80s, whatever it is. Why are they not really coming up big time?
Oversaturation, I think.
That's
100% mass produced. The 80s were mass produced. The 90s were.
Too easy to get.
I joke around and say they're still making 87 Tops baseball. They're still making it. There's no shortage.
Right. Yeah.
You would think all the junk wax. 87 Tops is in that junk wax where you can buy boxes for $8 or $5, and you will still see them. Till the end of time, where people still have. You're thinking kids are buying these. They go to a show, a dad's buying his kid. Okay, here, kid, here's $5. Here's 36 packs to open. You would think eventually they would dry up. There's no shortage.
So what the hell were what were the card manufacturers thinking back then, Derek? Why?
Money. Just keep making them and make money, and hopefully there's enough collectors to absorb it all. But unfortunately, it was a lot of closeouts.
Yeah, it just kind of collapsed.
Well, they had no interest in the secondary market. They were just trying to make sales.
Yeah, but they shot themselves.
Yeah, they killed. They chased a lot by making too many cards. So in the '80s, when I was collecting, okay, you had Topps, Donruss, and Fleer. Okay, do you remember those times?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay,
yeah.
Then Upper Deck revolutionized it. Okay, in 1989, and then they started putting autographs in packs. And then game used stuff in packs. And then remember, Upper Deck was the first one to go to like $1 a pack out of the gate. Okay, Topps was always 50 cents. Then it was $1 a pack, and they make them more, a photo with a hologram on the back. Now we have counterfeit protection. Then Topps made Stadium Club, and there was Fleer Flair, and they all started. And then more manufacturers popped up. It got overwhelming for collectors, so it was easier for collectors just to say, you know what? I used to collect 3 sets. Now I have to buy 40 sets, then 80 sets, and 100. No, I'm just not collecting anymore. We lost a lot of collectors, and the manufacturers are the main reason. As a store owner, I owned a store for a couple of years. You couldn't keep up ordering all the products.
Really?
They just kept making. They had a lower-end product, the regular product, then the higher-end products. There were packs that cost $500.
Jesus. We're chatting with Derek. Before we take a quick break, Derek, I want to ask one more question about the 52 Top set. Why is the Andy Pafko #1 card, why is that such a valuable card in that set?
So overall, #1 cards, the last card in the set and the first card of the set. Think about how you'd store them. Okay? So the first card in the set's Andy Pafko. In a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, it's not worth that much. It's just, it's when it's an 8, think about how you would store them. That's going to be the first card you put in the box. That's going to be the thing going up against whatever you're holding them in. Okay? Or if you just say, so the rubber band is on it. When people put rubber bands around them, that's the card that takes the collateral damage. It is the first card and the last card. Okay?
Interesting.
So that's why Eddie Matthews in 52 Tops, number 407, #1 Andy Pafko. In 8s, they're extremely difficult if you put your cards in order.
Interesting.
Now, if you couldn't count and you didn't know your numbers, I guess you might be okay. But if you knew how to count, #1 card is always going to be on top, and that's the one that's going to get the damage.
Good stuff. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We come back. We're going to chat with Todd Tobias for a couple of minutes from PSA, then come back to our friend Derek. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
Since 1996, Brian Drent and the staff at Denver's Mile High Card Company have led the charge in the collectibles hobby. Mile High is a full-service dealer specializing in buying and selling cards and offers a competitive consignment program for all collectors. Whether it be their computerized want list service, appraisals, or auction services, Mile High has it all. If you've been searching for a company with a selection of high-grade vintage 1888 to 1970 baseball cards and memorabilia that shares your passion, aim high, Mile High. Go to milehighcardco.com or call 303-840-2784 for more information.
How would you like to own the bat that was used by your favorite player when he hit that towering home run or game-winning base hit? Now look no further than JT Sports, specializing in the sale and authentication of professional game used bats. As the official authenticators of professional model game used bats for PSA DNA, JT Sports will guarantee the authenticity of any bat purchased from them. JT Sports also buys and sells game-worn uniforms, gloves, and baseball equipment. The unique quality of the collectible is what JT Sports is all about. Give them a call at 609-487-8003 or check them out at GameUseBats.com.
This is Brian Drent, president of Mile High Card Company. Is your sports card and memorabilia collection properly insured? For easily replaced personal property, homeowners insurance is all most people need. But for prized possessions that you may have spent a lifetime collecting, it doesn't go nearly far enough. Collectibles Insurance Services has been insuring for over 50 years. They offer a full range of protection and a $0 deductible at an affordable rate with no appraisals required. I know because they insure my collection. If you have a minute, go to collectinsure.com and learn more about insuring your personal card or memorabilia collection.
Since 2008, PWCC has tracked card collecting data and proven that investment caliber cards are the way of the collecting future. If you click on pwccmarketplace.com, you'll have all the information needed to make wise decisions. PWCC's comprehensive tracking and sales metrics demonstrate that trading cards have outperformed the S&P 500 by more than 200% with a return on investment of 153%. PWCC believes that trust is the bedrock of the trading card marketplace, and they will handle every trade with the highest level of integrity and care. Create an account to join their mailing list and gain full access to PWCC's suite of investor tools, including the PWCC indices and auction history sales database. It's all about the analytics, and you'll have them at your fingertips. Learn more by going to their new website, pwccmarketplace.com. Whether you are buying or selling, you'll now have all the tools that you'll need to make that educated decision. That's pwccmarketplace.com, providing analytics that investors can depend on.
All right, we're back. Now, listen, before we bring in Todd.
About Larry Walker and Joey Votto.
Oh, yeah, Larry Walker was a hell of a player, too.
Oh, that's right. Yes, Larry Walker was a
What are you doing?
lot of. I dropped my pen, of course. Dropping everything.
We had a conversation during the break for best Canadian Major League Baseball player. So just because people don't know what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
so those views, who do you think? I said Fergie Jenkins. Louis thinks Larry Walker, who was right up there.
Absolutely.
I said, Rico said
Joey Votto.
Rico said
You said it.
Pierre Trudeau. All right, listen, how about a little eBay? Can you, here, use my pen.
No, wait a minute. I can't.
God almighty. God, I am begging you.
It's a challenge.
I am begging you.
His
Well, you said
Eskimo
it
jacket on
yourself.
behind him.
All right, let's talk about our friends at
Yeah,
eBay.
I want to
Mr.
talk about them.
I gotta read that, too.
Rico, do you
Folks-
buy your winter jackets on eBay that you start wearing in August?
My down.
Killing me. You are killing me.
That's cold.
Yeah, yeah.
It is not.
Folks,
Your ass is cold.
if you're looking for autographed memorabilia, hard to find collectibles of your favorite team, or that Manny Machado Boy Scout Award, I don't get that.
Pretty good, right?
Jump on eBay right after the
know?
show.
No.
Tony, you want some pictures? You want some cards? Don't get Machado. Here are a couple
No,
of
what you
examples.
should have said is Dustin Pedroia's handwritten apology to Manny Machado.
That was good.
You know, that's a story. He said he didn't know. Remember when that came
I
out?
do.
Oh, wait, eBay. You know eBay's a great company, but I'll
So
finish.
what are some of the things you can...
Well, here are a couple of examples right now. Great stuff being offered on eBay. How about a Ty Cobb signed check? Any check?
To the KKK?
P.S. PSA
I'm sorry, that's wrong.
authenticated.
It's funny, but it's wrong.
It's PSA authenticated. $560. That's a big, good deal. Or a 1909 T206 Huey Jennings. Polar Bear back PSA 2 for $54?
Yeah, it's going to go up. It's going to go up.
Yeah, when? When we're dead?
Here's one.
Oh.
How about a Rico Petrocelli signed, not game used, store-bought bat for $229?
I'll give you one for $200.
Or
What are you doing signing that crap?
I don't know when. I don't know
get
when
paid
this
for
is.
it. And of course,
Oh, that's
as
right.
we
It
say every
shows.
week, if you live in a tent,
Yep.
you live in your car, you live on the beach, you live under a bridge, you live in a shelter, you can purchase a Rico Petrocelli 1972 ungraded Topps card for
1972.
99 cents.
You know what I'd pay money for? A signed Marlboro pack from Kal Yastrzemski. Can you get that for me?
We can
Rico?
do that. Yeah, yes, will do it. Well, you know, folks, there are thousands of items to bid on. Actually, it's hundreds of thousands. eBay has 162 billion and a half users, and 6,742,000 people per day go to the site, just so that you know. Remember, if you want the very best in sports collectibles, you can buy it on eBay.
By the way, eBay just signed on for another year as a sponsor for the Great American Collectibles Show.
I see their ads on
profit
TV.
margin.
They're good. All right, let's bring in our guest, our PSA guest, Todd Tobias, who runs the CardFacts portion of PSA. Todd, how you doing? Todd.
I'm doing well, thanks. How are you guys?
Good. First out of the gate, what is CardFacts all about? Can you explain to our viewers and listeners what CardFacts is all about?
Absolutely. CardFacts is PSA's attempt to put together basically an online trading card encyclopedia. So what we do is we rely on collectors to loan us their PSA graded card sets. So we scan every card in the set, and then we list the set in on our website under the CardFacts heading.
Yep.
And we tell, we write up profiles about the set itself, and then about some of the star players, information about the set in terms of, what it consists of in terms of maybe short prints or known errors or star cards or how it was issued, all kinds of stuff. So basically what it is, it's just one more source of a ton of information for collectors to use on the PSA website.
And that's bartered with present-day cards, too? Everything?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
We're, and it's not complete or comprehensive at this time because, like I said, we have to rely on collectors to borrow their sets so that we can scan all the cards so that we're able to show them.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I do, actually, is I work with collectors who are willing to loan us their cards. We're able to scan sets in, obviously depending on the size of the set, sometimes just even a day we can turn them around and get them back out to people.
Nice.
But I work with a lot of top collectors. They send us their stuff. It's a very seamless process. Cards are insured through FedEx, through our account via FedEx, both coming and going. And it's really a neat program.
It's great. Do you have a background in the hobby, or is this something new for you?
I got my first box of bubblegum cards in 1978, and I've collected ever since.
Have you really? What do you specialize in? What do you like?
I've evolved, changed many times over the years, but the thing that I mostly work on is autographed cards from the American Football League. So the 1960s old AFL, the Patriots, the Chargers, the Raiders, the Chiefs, Broncos, all those guys. I build autographed trading card sets and do some other, different kind of unique stuff with that as well.
Now, you're working on a project on the AFL, correct?
Correct. This last year I started and managed a campaign for the Chiefs safety Johnny Robinson to get him into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Okay.
And I'm pleased to say that Johnny was named this year as the senior nominee. He still has to go through the formal vote in February, right around the time of the Super Bowl. But after a overly long wait, Johnny now has a really fantastic chance of getting into the Hall of Fame this year.
I tell you what, I used to love, growing up in New England here in the Boston area, when the Pats, remember the original AFL teams against the San Diego Chargers?
Yeah, they were playing in the Leachmere parking lot. It was great.
There were like 30 people at some of the games, but then, they get better.
All right, Todd, I got to ask you, who's the AFL's all-time leading scorer?
Gino Cappelletti.
Attaboy. Excellent.
That's right, Gino is. Gino's a good friend of yours, Rico.
Very good. Yeah, he's a wonderful man. I tell you.
Tobias. He's a great fan. He's a great friend of the hobby as well. He's had many cards for me through the mail, and
Gino's a good guy.
Should be in the Hall of Fame.
We had Gino on the Sicilian Corner, remember? And we had him on the Sicilian Corner, and he wanted to speak Italian. None of us spoke Italian. He was like not happy with us because we didn't.
He's from Minnesota. I said, "Where's Italian? Where's Italians in Minnesota? Who's going to go?"
Fluent Italian. Yeah. All right, listen. Before we let you go, tell us about the PSA. They have a blog now that they've added to the website. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's a really neat new feature of the website, and right now we're busy populating it with all kinds of different stories. We've got stuff about autographs. We've got stuff about different auction highlights. I'm writing a series called Diamonds in the Junk, in which I open up a box of junk wax cards from the late 80s, early 90s, and review the whole process and the stuff that I get out of the box, which is kind of fun. A lot of this stuff was really highly touted back when it came out. Single cards selling for hundreds of dollars, and now you can get a whole box for $5. But it brings back a lot of really, really good memories if you were in the hobby back then. Yeah. So it's something that I'm really, really enjoying writing about.
His name is Todd Tobias from PSA. Todd, thanks for taking the time to spend with us.
Appreciate it.
You bet. Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. It was great.
Take care. Say hi to the gang at PSA. All right, while Louis is getting Derek back on the line, we're going to switch gears and talk a little bit about Heritage. Yes, Thomas Lane, you hit it right on the head. We did sign a deal. We got a new book. We have a new book coming out. Ellen and I and our good friend Joe Orlando. It is quite a ways away. It's probably not going to be out for a year and a half, but we have zeroed in, and we are doing a book. It's going to be called Baseball and Bubblegum, the 1952 Top Set. We're real excited about it.
That's going to be nice.
We thought long and hard about the topic, about the everything kept gravitating back to the 1952 Top Set. So
what do you think the golden era of baseball was?
I would say from just after the war, 51 till almost to the time you retired.
Because as a kid, I remember the guys in the 52 and up.
Rico.
I remember as a kid watching. The Aarons and the Mays and the Mantles and all those great players at that time.
But you know something, even when you played in that generation, but you also play with another generation of great ball players. We got Derek back?
Yes.
Hey, Derek, let's talk about Heritage if we can.
Sure.
Heritage, let's talk about the November. You got an auction coming up in November, right? The card auction?
Yeah, we just launched it, and it is massive. It's our biggest. It's biggest card auction we've ever had. There's 2,200 lots. I'm going to give you some of the highlights, not limited to, but a freshly graded PSA 852 Mantle, freshly graded 52 Mays in an 8.5. A 59 cello box, really cool discovery. We got some a 59 cello box and some non-sport boxes that came from outside of the hobby. Somebody had a store, and they saved them, and they sent them in. So those are outstanding. We're breaking up the number one 1948 Leaf baseball set that's number one on the PSA registry. You're talking rookie cards of Stan Musial, Jackie Robinson, Satchel Paige, outstanding set. A lot of 19th century, a 69 Mantle graded a PSA 10, a couple of 1986 Fleer wax boxes with the Jordan rookies that are sealed by Steve Hart. So just an outstanding auction, plenty of sets, plenty of fresh collections for every budget. HA.com/sports.
Derek, it amazes me how Heritage accumulates the cards and the memorabilia that they accumulate. I mean, you guys seem to have, I don't know if you call it the edge. I guess my first question to you is, how often are you on the road?
Oh, I'm on the road constantly, and we have, a staff of, there must be 10 consignment directors, And, you know, we've got a West Coast, we have an East Coast representative, we've got the guys in Dallas, and we sent a guy to Florida to just go pick up a major collection. I'm leaving Vegas to go to North Carolina to meet another one of my guys for a collection. You know, then I get back and do the Boston show. I go to Maryland on Monday for another collection. It doesn't end, and that's good. There's Sotheby's, Christie's, and there's Heritage. Those are the top 3 auction companies in the world, and Sotheby's and Christie's don't do sports.
I was going to ask you, I thought you were going to this in this direction. Are there a lot of duplicates? In other words, just for an example, a Mickey Mantle 52, a 9. Do other companies have that same card in a 9, or is it really exclusive? Maybe some of them, I understand. Maybe some of the older cards are just there's not very many of them. But is there?
I mean, so we auctioned the most recent 9 that we sold. There hadn't been one sold in over 10 years by an auction company. Yeah. And we are getting the lion's share. But, on some of the cards, like let's just say, a 65 man 1 and 8. You can go on eBay and find one. You can go, in other auction companies and find one. But we are definitely, flexing our muscles in cards and memorabilia. I mean, we're number one, clearly number one in auction total sales in sports.
Yeah. We are chatting with Derek Grady. And by the way, for some of our viewers, it may say live video interruption.
Just refresh.
Just refresh it, because I call it collectus interruptus. But if you see our heads moving, so we are in fact not interrupted. So
I'm watching it.
Can I leave it like that, just so I can see?
You can leave it however you want.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, and let me mention our friend Mike Provenzale wanted me to say this.
Love Mike.
Mike's great, isn't he? So we have I don't even know what to expect with this, and I think you guys should do the same thing for Halloween, but we have our Facebook Live Heritage Halloween special next week at 2:30 Central. And I think you and Rico should probably do the same thing. For Halloween, maybe you guys can get in costume. Maybe Rico can dress up like a New York Yankee or something. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Rico, something,
I'll get killed.
Maybe we'll do something.
But not that.
No, I'm not going to. We're not. I refuse to put a Yankee hat on.
No, I know that. But it doesn't have to be sports. We can do something like, Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse.
That's great.
There you go. Abbott and Costello.
Abbott and Costello.
There's some
I don't know if you know this, Derek. I think you may know this, but the last book that we released at the National, and All Stars Cardboard Memories, the cover of that book is a beautiful game-used jersey worn by one Mr. Rico Petrocelli. And we looked high and low because Rico.
It's the game he struck out 5 times.
Well, Rico had a couple he had a couple in the trunk of his house, but the moth holes were bigger than the buttonholes. So
the only thing the Red Sox gave me were photos we
went to Heritage, and who had one in his personal collection? Mike Provenzale had one in his personal collection, so he loaned it to us. So the shirt that is on the cover of an All Stars Cardboard Memories belongs to Mike. That was really nice of him.
Wow.
Halloween. That's a good idea.
Yeah, we'll dress up.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I have no idea what Provenzale's going to. I mean, he's got a great sense of humor, so I'm actually interested to see what him and Geezy turn up here. It's actually,
it's unbelievable.
It should be pretty fun.
Derek, you're. Let's talk a little bit more about Heritage. So over the coming months, you have a huge card auction coming up. What's next after that? Do you guys wait until the spring? Or
next after that, this just came in. We have an incredible PSA. I believe it's the #1 current finest Gowdy set as a separate catalog auction, kind of like the T206 set that just shattered records.
Right.
This set has 2 Gowdy Ruth PSA 9s.
Jeez.
It's easier to find Sasquatch than a Gowdy Ruth
You're
in 9.
Not kidding. How do you guys get? I mean, I'm sure that you have your go-to consigners, guys that are always coming to you to consign material, buy material. I mean, do you have a core group of high-end consigners that you guys deal with?
Yeah, and if we didn't, and here's the simple answer to that: it's prices realized. The minute we don't get the high, our database is worldwide. Okay, we have coin clients that buy cards, comic clients. We just have more bidders. We have a bigger mousetrap. And the day if we didn't get the prices realized, we wouldn't get all these consignments. You can advertise all you want. If you don't get the numbers, you're not getting them. And, we get the numbers consistently. And all I can do is, I'm humbled by it. I thank our bidders and consigners for trusting in Heritage and what we do. And that's why we're number one. And we continue to work hard to stay there. And that's why my travel schedule is what it is. So, but, that's...
Well,
so after the Gaudy auction, let me get back to that. So the Gaudy auction is going to launch in the middle of December, end of December, and right there around January 23rd or 24th. Then it rolls right into our February Platinum Night sale, which is cards and memorabilia. Okay, so it's going to go November. And then at 15th and 16th, then it rolls into January for the Gaudy auction. Then it goes straight into February for Platinum Night. And then we've got the March-April card auction, then a May memorabilia sale. It's pretty soon we're going to be at an auction a month at the rate we're going.
I'll tell you,
it's a lot of work. Huh?
I know. It's just amazing what you guys do. And again, it's a feather in your cap. You guys just do a fantastic job. I want to.
We have a great team.
Oh no, you do. You guys do it. Now you're going to be at at the Shriner
Show.
Yeah. So Ellen and I, we're going to be coming by. We've got a really good, talented camera guy. We're going to be. We're going to be doing a little.
No, you can make me look good on camera.
Absolutely, we're going to do some 5-minute videos.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we're going to do some 5-minute videos with some of our great sponsors, and we're going to be posting them.
Okay.
Posting them on our Facebook page, and it'll be posted on the PSA Facebook page. So, I'm sorry.
And what a great show that is! That's one of the Shriner show is literally, one of the best shows in the country.
Shriner
if
show
not
is a good show.
Top 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it's an amazing show. The history of that show. We have so many clients in that area. We already have appointments scheduled. We're really excited. We love doing that.
No, it's a fun thing. It's a fun show. Hey, listen, before we let you go, I just want to get back to grading for 1 minute.
Okay.
The origin of grading. I mean, it's always piqued my interest. Obviously. At one point in time, cars weren't graded, and you would base the grade on eye appeal, very good, good, poor, excellent. But the whole concept of grading, what's the origin behind that? Do you have any idea, Derek?
I really don't know where people started grading collectible cards. Okay, but I can tell you, there was a gentleman that came up with the arrowhead holder design.
Yeah.
That David Hall eventually, for PSA,
right,
paid him to use, for his patent, to use those holders for professional grading. Okay, there was some, earlier brands that never succeeded, lack of talent at the grading position.
Yep.
And then when PSA came on board and had qualified graders, and probably from the coin side, they were first in coins, and they were first, and then the real number one in cards. When they took over and started doing those holders. But from, I don't know when, I'm sure, just like with any collectible, somebody had to set a standard with grading.
Right.
And I don't know what were the early standards other than, I know a lot of people in the 70s, X Mint would have been like one of the highest grades. X to Mint. People called anything between a 5 and a 9 X Mint. And VG could be a poor card, or it could be, a card that's with a couple creases to a card with 20 creases.
Gotcha.
So it's definitely expanded.
Yeah,
the range.
Yeah.
His name is Derek Grady. HeritageAuctions.com. What's the website address? It's
HA.com. Make it simple. HA.com.
HA.com. Hey, listen, we look forward to seeing you next week, and we'll swing by and have a few laughs.
Yeah.
Look forward to it.
All right, Derek. Thanks so much.
Care.
We appreciate it. Derek Grady from Heritage Auction.
Good stuff, man.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Before we take a break, our trivia question: you win this PSA hat, brand new, never been on anybody's head. All you have to do is tell us what is David Price's pitch count going to be tonight. You guess it, you win the hat.
Rico, put it on. It'll be show 1.
We're going to take a quick break. We come back. We're going to chat a few minutes with Marc Juteau of Classic Auctions. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Dan from Memory Lane Auction and Collectibles Company. If you're looking to maximize your return on your sports cards and collectibles, look no further. We at Memory Lane Auction House offer you several options to achieve top dollar for your collectibles. Whether you're looking to auction or sell privately, we're the #1 choice with over 17 years in the hobby. Nobody will work harder to achieve your goals. Just call us today at 877-606-5263. That's 877-606-LANE. Or visit us on the web at www.memorylaneinc.com. Go with the best. Go with Memory Lane.
Mint State is a PSA authorized dealer specializing in high-grade vintage sports and non-sports cards. Established in 2002, we utilize an extensive network of sellers, collectors, and other dealers for the millions of dollars in collectibles we sell every year. Mint State has handled some of the finest collections ever assembled, including the famous Lucky 7 find, and offers sellers attractive consignment packages in addition to outright purchases. For more information, please visit mintstateinc.com. Contact Rick Snyder at mintstate@msn.com or by dialing 630-365-9790. Happy hunting!
When it comes to meeting a budget, Pristine Auction has something for everyone. Jared and his staff at Pristine offer several auction formats, all the way down to a daily auction. Each auction ends nightly with hundreds of lots, and by the way, all daily auctions are offered with no reserve prices. Whether it's cards, signed jerseys, sports, or non-sports memorabilia, Pristine has it all. Pristine Auction is also proud to partner with Hope Sports in Mexico. Our mission is to help those in need. That's Pristine Auction, Pristine. Simply go to pristineauction.com and begin bidding. And don't forget, mention the guys from the Great American Collectibles Show. That's Pristine Auction, meeting your collectible needs.
Okay, we are back, and on the phone with us right now is our good Canadian friend, the owner and president of Classic Auctions, the largest sports memorabilia auction house in Canada.
Is that supposed to be a Canadian accent or something?
Marc Juteau.
Okay.
No,
That's
French,
pretty good. Marc, was that bad?
I took French.
Marc?
Hey, guys, how are you?
How are you, buddy?
Good.
Now, where are you? You en route to Toronto?
Yeah, I'm in the car. I'm driving to Toronto right now.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Hey, Marc, you got a fall auction coming up. I looked. I went on your site. How do you get some of the stuff that you get?
It works at it.
Well, I'd like to tell you there's probably no secret. It's only hard work, right?
I mean, you've got some fun. I was seeing it. Johnny Busick signed his own signed Stanley Cup trophy. Chief? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great piece.
Are you kidding? Now, something like that, what will the starting bid on something like that be, Marc?
Wow, that's a good question. I think the starting bid on it was $3,000, but I'm not sure.
Really?
So this is the actual cup replica that they give out to the players
Each
who win the
player.
cup.
Right, this was Busick's.
Man.
What did
Yeah,
you
that's the one that was given to Chief.
Now,
God, I would
Lou
love-
would
yeah.
kill for something like
I'd
that. You're a
love to have
hockey
that,
guy, yeah. You would kill.
What
for
about a Gretzky game used stick? Is that because I got a stick with his name on it, but it's
That's a
most of the
store-bought.
team. No, he gave it to me.
Gretzky
I
gave
met
you
him.
a-
Yeah, I met him, and he at the Garden. I don't know, 7 years, whatever it was, and he gave me a stick. I'll show it to you.
No, I believe you.
I mean, but the thing is, I have the other names on there.
Like, are they Bruins players or his?
No, they're L.A.
Oilers.
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 Well, the Oilers. Yeah.
So is something like that worth any money?
Was his wife with him?
Is it? Hold on. Was it?
he wasn't married then.
Was it a game used stick?
Oh, yeah, we were getting really good money for the Gretzky game used sticks at auction. We were getting like $4,000 or $5,000.
Hey,
No, I don't know if it's game use.
Memorabilia for the Jimmy Fund auction.
Yeah, I'll do it.
No,
So, Mark, if I had that shoe that Mike Milbury used to beat the fan in New York in Madison Square Garden, what would that be worth?
That's awesome. Imagine that. That's a cult piece.
Actually, we could accumulate a lot of that stuff. Empty cups thrown at Derek Sanderson. All kinds of neat stuff. Mark, how do you network yourself? I mean, do you have a staff, or do you do all of it, networking for items? I'm sure you do a lot of traveling up in Canada.
I do tons of traveling, but you know what? I've got a great team. I've got an amazing team of people that work in the office. I mean, we're a group of I want to say 8 to 10 people all together, and everybody works hard, and they do an amazing job, and everybody helps at the networking. Everybody helps at putting together the auctions, and it's a group effort, you know.
And I tell you what, I mean, you have the reputation in Canada as the go-to guy. It's almost like they're the heritage of the Canadian market. Do you specialize in? I'm sorry, Rico, you wanted to ask him a question.
What? Oh, yeah. Well, does he specialize in other sports or non-sports items?
Well, I mean, we specialize in hockey, obviously. I mean, we touch a little bit of everything. We offer everything, but we're a hockey company. First and foremost, that's our passion. We live, breathe, and eat hockey. You know.
Sure. Oh yeah.
Mark, what is in this auction that you have coming up? What's the go-to signature piece of this auction? What's the Mona Lisa of this auction?
There's one piece that I really consider to be an amazing piece, but it's a 1931-32 Toronto Maple Leaf sweater that's been photo matched to the team photo, and that's the first Stanley Cup that they ever won. That shirt was worn the year that the Leafs won their very first Stanley Cup ever, and it's the first sweater from that team ever to surface. That's an amazing piece.
Wow. Again, you don't know if something like that will fetch, do you?
Yeah, well, who knows? I mean, that could be worth as much as $100,000 to the right person, you know. But who knows nowadays? It's only worth what somebody will pay for it, right?
Exactly. All right, his name is Mark Chutko.
Hang on, I got to ask.
Oh, go ahead. Yes.
Mark, what's the signature piece? What's the holy grail piece from the '72 series with the Russians? Is Paul's jersey around? What's around from the '72 series?
Oh, we sold that Paul Anderson sweater for $1.3 million. Nothing will ever come close to that.
Wow.
That was an amazing athletic event. That whole Canadian-Russian series was great.
Yeah.
Who was the Tretiak? Yeah, he was. I remember him. Yeah, he was good. Yeah. All right, Mark. The name of the company is Classic Auctions. The go-to guy in Canada for hockey. Our American friends here. If you guys, a lot of you guys are hockey freaks, especially you Bruins fans. Go on ClassicAuctions.com. Hey, Mark. Thanks for taking the time.
Mark, hey,
appreciate it, buddy.
.net.
That's right. ClassicAuctions.net. My apologies.
Of course it's .net. It's a hockey site.
I know that. All right, take care of yourself, Mark.
You got it, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Okay. Hey, a couple of things before we get out of here tonight.
Sure.
For those of you that are watching us right now on Facebook, if you look up over our Rico's head, over the picture, there is a logo for... Over here. So there's a logo that says the Jimmy Fund. For our New England fans and viewers, you all know what the Jimmy Fund is. The Jimmy Fund is the part of the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, and the Jimmy Fund is the section of the Dana-Farber that deals with children with cancer. Well, on March 6th, and it's a ways off, but I want you to start thinking about it. On March 6th, when we're in Florida, because as many of you know, Rico and I broadcast from Florida over the winter because we hate the damn snow. We're going to be broadcasting, doing a live 2-hour radio event on March 6th, Wednesday night, from the largest Boston-based sports bar/restaurant in Florida. It's called Boston's on the Beach. It's an oceanfront, beautiful oceanfront front venue in Delray Beach. We're going to be doing a special 2-hour radiothon, telethon, phonathon to raise money for kids with cancer at the Jimmy Fund. We're going to be having there'll be a live eBay auction that night. eBay is kind of helping us out with this. and all of our great sponsors, the Memory Lanes, the Mile Highs, the Heritage. Everybody is donating some memorabilia to the cause. So we're going to have a live auction that night. And then we're going to leave. We'll have a Facebook button on our site. For those of you that don't watch it live, you can always contribute. We're going to ask every one of you guys, our viewers, our listeners, our radio listeners, we want to help stamp out children's cancer. Rico worked for the Jimmy Fund for how many years, Rico?
3+ years.
3 years worked for the Jimmy Fund. As I know, some of you know this. My oldest daughter, who's doing great now, my oldest daughter was a patient at the Jimmy Fund when she was 4. She had cancer, and it was part of our lives for 2 years, 2 long years. But they saved her life. They cured her. So for me personally, it means a lot. And I know for you Massachusetts, New England fans, everybody knows who the Jimmy Fund is. Jimmy Fund was really affiliated with the Boston Braves, but when they left town, Ted Williams took them under his wing. And Ted Williams and the Yockey family, they are now the go-to charity for the Boston Red Sox. So we're going to be doing a fundraiser. As we get closer, we'll be talking a lot more about it.
Well, I mean, people who are listening who live down in that area, come by.
Yes.
We're going to have a fun night,
yes,
too.
If you guys are in the Florida, anywhere on the East Coast, come down and spend the time with us. We're going to be broadcasting live. We're going to have a lot of laughs. We got some other special guests that we're working on, maybe some Red Sox player. Our friend Tony DeMarco, former welterweight champ of the world, he'll be joining us. Rick Snyder from Mint State will be co-hosting with us.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Rick and his beautiful wife, on their own dime, are coming down to spend some time with us to help us out. So I really, really want you guys to share the word. That Jimmy Fund logo is going to be up there until such time. With that being said, Red Sox tonight. Red Sox in 5 or 6, Rico?
Well, I'll take one game at a time.
Louis, 5 or 6? What do you say?
6.
Yeah, I think so too. Red Sox is 6. David Price, please. I'm begging you, please. Please.
Go strike.
Give up 10.
No.
Can win 12-10.
The weather will be a factor.
Hey, right, 35 degrees. So, all right, we're going to go home. I'm going to make my martini. I'm going to make my popcorn, and I'm going to watch the Red Sox.
Yeah.
With that being said, thanks for all your support, you guys. We love you. Rico and I love our fans.
Tony and Joanne.
Viewers, our radio people, you guys are fantastic.
Gary.
So with that being said, go Red Sox.
Liz.
And happy collecting.
Happy collecting.
Take care.